Narcissistic abuse syndrome. Narcissistic abuse syndrome is not an official medical condition, nor is it a medical diagnostic term. It's something that I've seen a number of psychiatrists, doctors, write about, and I happen to agree with the term. So it fits with what I go through, and I choose to just use that loosely. However, it's important to remember it's not an official medical term. A lot of us, and I see this more and more each and every day, go through the same exact symptoms when we've been abused by a narcissist. No matter if it's a parent, an ex-spouse, a boyfriend, or a girlfriend. We share a lot of the same symptoms. I'm going to talk for a moment about some of those symptoms. The symptoms I speak about, I can validate because I know that I've gone through them. I'm going through them. And I know by the stories that others have shared that they have gone through them. Millions of us share these symptoms. Let's talk about a couple of them. I wrote down some bullet points so I would remember them. I hope you don't mind. During my childhood, this happened constantly, but it also happened after I reconnected with my narcissistic mother several years ago. That we would be degraded in a public, open space. And I would remain silent, almost with my head bowed, feeling ashamed, when I knew that they were lies. I reflect on that now, and I reflect on that in therapy, and realize that I didn't want to cause a scene. I didn't want to appear to be crazy because there was no use in disputing that. It's difficult to prove a negative. And, get this, I didn't want to embarrass my mother. I still had that sliver of hope, thinking that she loved me. I didn't want to embarrass her while she was degrading and embarrassing and putting me down. Depression. Many of us find that we suffer from depression. Sometimes we can't get out of bed. Sometimes we can't get off the couch. This is a very common symptom of those of us that have been abused by a narcissist. One of the ways, and this is very important, to try to alleviate that depression is by speaking to a therapist. At the very least, speaking to somebody that you trust completely and that will listen to you unconditionally. Because you have a lot of stuff to dump, don't you? Me too. And it's difficult to find somebody who you can share these horrendous acts of abuse that was placed on you. It's difficult to find that person. Try. This is a big one for me. Keep playing the tapes over and over. I've had, and continue to have, these constant revelations of playing the past in my head. I play abuses that I've not remembered for many years. It comes back to me, and I'll play it over and over in my head. I'll play the abuse of the degradation, the public humiliation. I'll play the tape of the lies. I'll play the tape of how could I have fallen into that again. I'll take this with me into the shower. I'll take this with me on a walk. I'll take this with me to a grocery store. This is the damage that the narcissistic person places upon us, and this is the damage that they so much enjoy. And they feed off of that supply. Remember, they feed off of your emotional sadness and your emotional illness. I will continue to play those tapes over and over and over, not only remembering instances from the narcissistic mother, but from the golden child. And how dare he do that to me? It's hard to escape. We have this overwhelming desire to tell everybody in the world the truth about that person, how horrible he or she is. We want them to know that we're not the crazy ones. We want them to know the truth about the abuse. We want them all to know how dysfunctional and how sick that family environment was. We want them to know that what was done upon us. Because the narcissist is so clever at gaining sympathy, pity, their circle of friends. And we have this overwhelming desire to out them as the monsters that they truly are. And at the same time, we want the whole world to realize that we were abused, that we were the victims. We want validation. Lack of sleep. Remember I had just said, or I just spoken about the tapes playing over and over? This can affect your sleep. It can affect your sleep that where your mind is racing and it will not shut off. You can have disrupted sleep, waking up several times during the night and thinking about your past, thinking about what was done to you, even recently. Again, if this is affecting you, this also could be a clear sign of depression. Please speak to a professional about this, if you can. Low self-esteem and self-sabotaging. Well, most of us at a very young age have been told we're sick little bastards, rotten little bastards, whores, tramps, worthless, pieces of garbage, beaten. How can we not grow up and somewhere in our mind not think that that's true? It's against the human condition. Our brains have not yet even grown to maturity, and this was planted in our brain constantly. Most times at a very, very early age.